what in the world is going on at Colorado? We're going to talk about that right now. Now, here's the deal. 18 players, as of yesterday, hit the portal. And I think there's a couple of layers to this. 63 of the 83 scholarship guys you had from 2022 are no longer on this roster. Translation, this entire team has been flipped. Like originally I thought maybe Deion Sanders was going to come in and redo some things in the house. Like maybe they get new floors, maybe they get new furniture, maybe they redo the kitchen. No, Deion Sanders just took a wrecking ball to the entire operation and said, 1-11, that ain't my house. Rebuild this thing. So here's my guess on what's happening right now at Colorado. Again, this is purely a guess, but from the outside looking in, I believe everybody involved here is making a business decision. If you're Deion Sanders, I think he is making a decision that's best for his football team and saying we were 1-11 last year. The personnel that made that happen last year is, quite frankly, not good enough for my standards, for our standards here, for what we want to get done. So I believe a lot of these guys, not all, I believe a lot of these guys are being told they no longer have a spot at Colorado. To put it bluntly, I believe a lot of these guys are being cut. Okay? Now, again, it's hard to blame Deion Sanders. When you're a CEO of a company and you take it over and the company has been failing for some time, what do? You make personnel changes. It's just business. I'm sure it's nothing personal. But we have to get better as a company. We have to start making a profit. And to do that, I have to bring in different people to do a better job. It's just a business decision here for Coach Prime. Now, for the other side of things, again, I don't believe that all of these guys are cut. I don't believe all of them. Like, again, Montana Lemonious Craig, I believe he is making a business decision to leave. And to be honest here, more power to him. More power to him. He clearly can play ball. He's already got people lining up outside of his door. Auburn, Mississippi State, BYU. Like, you go down the list here, he's racking up the offers. It's not a matter of ability for Montana Lemonious Craig. That's what the portal is for. If you think you have a chance to be in a better situation, to better yourself academically and athletically, that's why the portal exists. Good for him. And Coach Prime even quote tweeted his tweet when he was going to leave, Montana Lemonious Craig, that is, and just essentially gave him a vote of confidence and signed off on him as a football player and as a person. Great. More power to you. Now, going back to Coach Prime, 18 players hitting the portal. Let's say he cut 15 of those guys, because I do think it was the majority. Let's say he cut 15 of those guys. More power to him. But my question becomes, well, who are you going after? Because anytime I make a mass firing within my company, what does that mean? It means I have a lot of other positions that now need to be replaced. I need to make a mass hiring. And so my question is, are we really able to upgrade to the degree that we think we're going to be able to? Because if you watched our last segment on this live show, you understand. Listen, the portal's coming to a close. The names that are in there, pretty soon, those are just going to be the names you have to draw from. Like when the portal closes up shop, we're not going to just get exponentially better. You have to pick from who you have to pick from. And the feeling right now is the guys that are in the portal are good and the value is skyrocketing because of the scarcity that's existing right now within the portal. But it's not necessarily like, hey, there is players all over here. Take your pick, enough to go around for everyone. 18 players you are trying to replace, from my estimation. Is there really an upgrade at 18 different spots there? I don't know. Someone else I talked to in the personnel world told me, credit to Deion, kind of the same thing we were saying here, credit to Deion for wanting to flip the roster and saying, I need to make some changes. But the concern here is you're becoming a little bit thin at two position groups you don't really want to be thin at. I'll tell you which one those are. Make sure you're subscribed to this On3 YouTube channel. We appreciate y'all for that. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at JD Piquel. Thank you so much for that. Now, like I was saying, the two positions they're thin at right now are in the secondary, on the defensive line. You don't want to be thin in the trenches. You don't want to be thin in that position group on the back end that has to defend the playmakers, because what do we have in the Pac-12 conference? A lot of teams that can throw the rock around. I mean, I know USC and UCLA, they're leaving for the Big Ten here pretty soon, but you got to play Caleb Williams at some point in time. I mean, You look at Oregon, you look at Washington. Like there's schools that just straight up throw the rock. You're going to have to be able to defend that. All right. Now, what I would say though for Coach Prime, while this is not ideal, I have to at least respect the fact that he's doing it his way. Like Deion Sanders is making no apologies for being Deion Sanders. And to some degree, you have to, not to some degree, I think you just have to respect that, period. Because the beautiful thing about this is, and I was texting somebody earlier, Deion Sanders will never, ever have to wonder, man, what if I had done it my way? What if I hadn't worried so much about the external noise and just straight up stuck to my own plan? Like, he won't ever have to wonder about that. And I think that's phenomenal for Coach Prime. I think that's phenomenal for us, the college football public. Matt Rule, on a previous podcast talking about his NFL career, was saying, I wish I had kind of taken a bigger swing when I was in Carolina. I wish we had made a bigger trade. I wish we had done this and that. And I think the NFL is different than the college game, so I don't want to liken Matt Rule to Deion Sanders in their situations. But the sentiment is the same. Coach Prime is saying, listen, I'm not waiting for us to eventually get it right. I'm acting right now. I'm making changes right now to get the people into this operation, into this organization, to do what we want to do. So credit Coach Prime for that. And the last thing I would say is we can no longer judge Colorado by last year. Everyone's going to throw out, well, they were 1-11, and what he's taken over is so difficult, and how's he going to get them to win? Like, that's all still true. Colorado was 1-11, but 76% of the roster that he's going to take the field with week 1 will be brand spanking new. We can't judge Colorado by last year anymore because last year's Colorado is no longer in Boulder for the most part. Like, it is a totally new organization. So Coach Prime is going to do things his way, respect the heck out of him for it. And I think that's what you're seeing right now with this mass exodus with the portal. Not all these guys, but a lot of these guys, I think we're told, hey, you no longer have a spot here. We're doing things differently. It's unfortunate, but I do believe at the end of the day, it is just business. And Colorado and Coach Prime are going to do things the way that they see fit. Hey, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.